Welcome, everybody, to The Break. This is PIA's video series designed to break down some of those trending topics in insurance. My name is Brad Lachut. I am the Director of Government and Industry Affairs for PIA of the Northeast. And today I'm going to be talking to you about a change in Connecticut law regarding the placements of policies in the excess lines marketplace. So what's going on? Well, in June of 2023 of this year, Public Act 2365 was enacted in Connecticut. Of course, I'm sure all of you are very well aware of what Public Act 2365 does. Just in case you aren't, I'll give you a little preview. So the new law makes small but significant changes to the procedure in which risks are placed in the non-admitted market. Now, before going into the changes, I'm going to talk a little bit about the law is, or what the law was, and then we can talk about how it has been changed. So prior to June, or the enactment of this law, surplus lines brokers were required to file quarterly with the Commissioner of the Connecticut Insurance Department, the CID, written statements demonstrating that a diligent effort was made prior to placing coverage in the non-admitted marketplace. Most producers are familiar with the process of getting 3 declinations. That was the law beforehand, and producers were required to file those declinations as well as other information with the CID on a quarterly basis. So what's changing? Well, surplus lines brokers are no longer required to file those written statements. Now, that doesn't mean those written statements are required. It just means they're not required to be filed. So surplus lines brokers are still required to maintain all statutory information and documents and keep those in their own file. And the CID can request this information at any time. So while it doesn't have to be proactively filed, it does need to be kept on hand, and it can be requested. And this law went into effect October 1st of 2023. So going forward after October 1, no more filing is required, but those documents must be kept on file with the agencies. So what sort of information must be kept on file? Good question. All written statements that the insured and broker were unable to procure sufficient insurance coverage in the admitted market. This is the 3 declination process that most people are used to. Those are still required, and evidence of the declinations must be kept. Question we get sometimes is how long? Well, they need to be kept for at least the policy period, and then for 1 year after that under the law. With discretion following that, you can keep those longer if you want to, but at least for the policy period plus 1 year. In addition to those declinations, brokers should also keep on hand any documents showing that the amount of insurance procured was in excess over what could be provided in the admitted market. So if you have a client who's looking for $3 million in coverage and they couldn't find it in the admitted market, you can show that there's a difference there. And then finally, the type of policy, that information has to be recorded as well. If the policy happens to be for real property, so a homeowner's policy or a commercial property policy, the property's location also has to be included in that information. So real quick, you have to include the 3 declinations, any information related to insurance coverage being excess over what's provided in the admitted market, and then the type of policy that was placed in the admitted market, including, if it's a property policy, the location. And that about sums it up. So really the big change is not so much with the information that needs to be maintained, but what you do with that information after it's collected. So now under current law, no longer does that information need to be sent to the CID. It needs to be kept on file for the CID to request. Hopefully this will remove one step in the process and make it just a little bit easier on producers in general. So if you have questions on this process or anything else in general, please feel free to reach out to PIA either through the Government Affairs email address or our Resource Center. In addition, I've included some resources that should be helpful, hopefully, to you on this topic below. Please feel free to click on those, and hopefully those will answer some questions. If you have any questions or comments on future breaks, please leave them here, and I'll be seeing you soon in the next break. Thank you very much. Bye.